back, but it wasn't, so I had to end it to continue from here. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. So like I was saying, from the shoulder, we're going to be marking 10 inches down and then 10 inches to the back. Okay, that's to the front, to the back. And like I said, from this point, we're going to be marking 3 inches, like so. Sorry, 3.5, I mean, sorry. Sorry, please, if you were once out there and all of a sudden you couldn't join anymore, I don't know what happened. I guess the net, I tried to come back, but it wasn't, so I had to stop and then come back. Okay, so I'm sure you know that this was where we stopped. So our 10 inches to the front and 10 inches to the back. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to be using the pin to hold it down as we progress, so that I'm not moving back and forth the sewing machine and the cutting table. Okay, we have that sorted now. And so if I open it up, this is what we have. So we have our pleats already taken care of. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut the on the neck part area. So for the facing for the neckline, I'm going to be using another fabric to do that. I'm going to be using this fabric. Okay. So this is what I'm going to be using. So to have that sorted out, I'm going to be folding this at the center. I have it folded at the center. Please, you are welcome back. In case you were once here and all of a sudden you couldn't see anything, I guess that was the network. Okay, and I have this folded into two as well. I'm going to be folding this into two. Now to get the width of this, the neckline, the width for the neckline is 3 inches. Okay, so what I have here is enough, 5 inches, and I have 5 inches extra for the width of the facing. So that's okay. So I'm going to be ironing this part. So I get the main fabric itself. Now for the facing, the length of the facing front, it's going to terminate at the half waist length. Okay, so we are going to be measuring that. So this is the shoulder area for the dress, the blouse, and the half waist length is 17 inches here. Okay, so I made sure I had that placed. And then I'm going to mark out the shape of the neckline after I put this one on the facing. So this is the shaping of the neckline on the facing. So once I'm done, I take this. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to be marking out what we have for the shape of the facing. So this is what we have. I'm going to be using, for the back, I'm going to be using the width of 3 inches. That's for the back. Then for the front, You can see the shape that we have. This is our shoulder area. So for the front, you can see how from the thumbnail, please, you can see the shape of the neck thing for the front. So the shaping this way, and then this. So this is what we have. So I'm going to be cutting along that shape. So I'm going to be cutting out the neckline now. So we turn to the wrong side of the fabric, the wrong side. I open it up. And I place this on this. So this is the facing I'm going to be using. The right side of the facing, by the way. So the right side of the facing is facing the wrong side of the blouse. Please note that. So I'm going to be, this is going to act as the stitching for the neckline. Just in case you are wondering, I already started this live in before this one, but the network disappointed and I had to stop and then start again. But I didn't start from the beginning this time. I had to start from where I stopped because I already done to some extent, okay? So this is our assumed stitch, and then I'm going to be turning it to the right side of the fabric. So this is acting difficult because I used pin to hold it down, okay? All these ones I'm doing here, they are supposed to be stitched, just in case you are wondering. Like I said earlier, I do not want to be moving up and down the sewing machine, like something between the sewing machine and the cutting table, okay? So all these pinnings, they are supposed to be stitching. But by the time I'm done with the proper stitching, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so we're done with the facing at this point. This is what we have. This is what it looks like. Okay, so it's now time for us to work on front part again. So for this front part, this our line here, we're going to be stitching a channel. We are going to be passing the rope that gave it that ruffles that we have here. Okay, so you get a piece of the fabric. You cut out at least 2 to 3 inches width. You have that cut out. So I'm going to be ironing this part so that I can get where I'm going to be stitching exactly. So this line here, I'm just going to be giving it a good press so that it makes this part straight for me. Okay. So this is what we have. So I'm going to be using this. Guys, I'm so sorry I'm not going to be stitching. That's why I'm using pins to hold every part that needs to be stitched. Okay. So this line is going to act as, or this piece of fabric is going to act as the channel where we are going to be passing the rope that we are going to be pulling, so that it gives us that rushed or ruffled effect on this part. So first of all, this part, you hold it down like so and stitch. This is the center. You also get the center of this one, this particular channel. So once you have the center, so this center piece to this other center piece, this place we have it closed down, stitched down before we fix it. Okay. So the length we are going to be using is about 10 inches. 10 inches is okay. So place this way, and then the stitching, you fold the side like so, and then you stitch down. I'm going to be doing that to the 2 sides. Okay. So let's take out the excess. So we have that held down. You stitch down like so. You do the same thing to the other side. Guys, please pardon me, I'm not going to be stitching. Okay, I've said this severally, I'm not going to be stitching. That's why I'm having it pinned down. Okay, so it's going to be acting as the channel for the rope that we are going to be putting on this front. So having done that, we will now stitch down the center. Can you see? You know, I ironed the center, so we are going to be stitching. You stitch down this particular part, okay, before you pass your rope. You pass your rope from this point. The excess, you take it out. Ah, why this noise? Make sure you finish properly. So you pass your rope from this point. Remember, we have stitched the center. Okay, you pass from this point. Let it come out at this. See, at this point it comes out here. You pass it back to the other one, and then it comes out. That gives that pulling effect. Okay, I hope you understand. So now it's time for us to hem this side. So we turn to the wrong side of the fabric. and then we stitch using our seam allowance. We are going to be stitching like so, all the way down, all the way down. And then all the way down. Okay, now for this side, for this particular side of the front, we have it shortened because of the shape. Do you see that? So from here you make sure you have it placed equally. So from this point we are going to be shaping to the center of the back so that it's uniform, this particular front, so that the length of the back is uniform with this length of the front, which is okay. Just pardon, the sewing tutorial is going to come by tomorrow, okay? Because where my sewing machine is not too close to the cutting table. A bit, not as far, but I don't want to be moving up and down because of the camera. So we have, so we're going to be stitching, like I said, from this point, but make sure you must have hemmed the sleeve part. So stitch from this point like this, and then like this, and we do the same thing to this other side. You hem the sleeve and then you go this way, you go like this, and then this way. So afterwards, what we are left with is to hem the lower part of the blouse. Okay, so that's basically it. The next live is going to be the sewing tutorial. So assuming we have stitched everything now, this is what it should look like. I'm sorry this is looking all over the place, but don't worry, by the time I stitch it's going to comprehend everything. So this is what we have it looking like. Can you see that? So this is what we have it looking like. Here's the pleats, and these are sleeves. Okay, so by tomorrow hopefully, or the next live, I'm going to be showing you the stitching. This is just the cutting process, and I just briefly show you how to go about the stitching, just in case you can't wait for the sewing tutorial proper. Okay, that's basically why you see me using pin to do everything, but the next tutorial is going to be the stitching process proper. Okay, and guys, I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comment section if this is what we should be doing often. Okay, I hope that's basically it for this tutorial. And guys, please, I need your encouragement. This is my first live tutorial, and if it's a bit all over the place, I'm sorry about that. Like I said, we learn as we go. Okay, so this is the first live tutorial, so just in case some things are not in place the way you would want it to be, don't worry, we'll be learning on the job. I've never been live. This is my first live tutorial, and I'm sure I did my best. Okay, so see you in the sewing tutorial. Okay, bye.